Hi, welcome to my third tutorial on changing the subject of the formula. This time what we're looking at is being able to change the subject when there's a squared in it. We want to make the subject r, but r is squared. How do we do this then? Okay, well the first example. We go about it the same way as what we've done up to now. We need to get r on its own on one side and the rest of the letters on the other side of the equation. So we're going to move the pi over to the other side. Because we're timesing pi by r squared, on the other side we're going to divide. So the first step would be to write a over pi is equal to r squared. Now up to now, all we've been doing the opposite. When I was multiplying there, I divided on the other side. We're squaring here, and the opposite to squaring a number is to find the square root of a number. So if I find the square root of r squared, it gives me r. If I find the square root of the right hand side, I must also find the square root of the left hand side. It must be the square root of the whole of the left hand side. So to get rid of this squared, I just find the square root of both sides. So r, I've square rooted it, I need to find the square root of the whole of the other side. So I need r equals the square root of a over pi. Second one, a little bit more complicated here. We've got this fraction part here, this third. Now what I like to do when I've got a third of something, I find it a lot easier to rewrite this as v equals pi r squared h divided by 3. That's exactly the same as writing a third of the number, dividing the whole of it by 3. And it makes it a lot easier to deal with. Because what we need to do, we need to leave r on its own. We've got to get the rest of these letters and numbers on the other side of the equation. So we'll start off with the fraction part. If I'm dividing by 3 on the right hand side, to get rid of that I need to times by 3. But if I times by 3 on this side, I must times by 3 on this side. So this basically becomes 3 times v is going to be equal to pi r squared h. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the pi and the h over. All these are multiply. So to get rid of the pi and the h, I need to divide by pi h on both sides. So this then becomes, if I just move up to here, 3v divided by pi h, and that's going to equal the r squared. And now all I need to do, just like I did on the first one, is I need to find the square root of both sides to get rid of the squared sign. So r is going to equal the square root of 3v over pi h.